name's Jack from B13 Neighbourhood Honey. Our mission is to pollinate change within urban areas and rural landscapes. Okay. By doing this, we hope to change people's minds about how important the honeybee and our Australian native bees are within our urban areas like our backyards, our neighbourhoods, and then thus in an agricultural section as well. So educating people around our food system and how important bees are in that cycle of production. Yes. So the business aspect of things is broken up into 4 different areas. The first one, of course, is to keep bees. So as a primary focus, we're trying to increase pollination rates in all different areas that we choose to place bees. Whether this is 1 hive or 10 hives or 50 hives in one area, we're trying to bring pollinators back to that area and educate the local communities around how important it is to support those bees that we place there through planting flowers and planting out gardens and encouraging local councils and government to plant more trees and plants that flower and provide food for the bees. The next section of the business is the honey production. So as a byproduct of keeping healthy bees, especially here in Queensland, Australia, we end up with a lot of honey. So we don't have many winters here. Winters don't get very cold, so our bees are always working for 12 months of the year, 365 days a week. Per year. And all of that honey is small batch, locally produced. We don't blend or mix any of our honey. So every honey that you taste with our label on it is specific to that region, is specific to that location, and is specific to that season as well. So we're showcasing the seasonal variabilities of what honey can produce. Of not actually what honey can produce, but what a neighbourhood can produce. Because it's 4 seasons, 4 different honeys every season. So we have education. So that is we educate. Well, we attend sustainability fairs and we give talks to the public around the advantages of keeping bees and the difficulty also of supporting this type of ecosystem. And part of the education is actually helping people understand whether beekeeping is the right thing for them. So we hold beekeeping workshops and seminars where we introduce people into what beekeeping is and what you need to expect when you keep bees, but also what to do with the product afterwards, because we can take 200 kilos of honey from one beehive, and 200 kilos of honey is too much to give to family and friends. Yeah. So we hope to educate the next generation of beekeepers as well.
All right.
And the last remaining one is the corporate engagement. So we predominantly work with local businesses, local restaurants, cafes, hotels, developments here in the city to put beehives on their rooftops. So we're activating unused space here in the city. Space that is on the rooftops that would normally never get used. Just the sun is blaring on them, but now we can put bees on the roof and they can pollinate the local suburbs without anybody concerned. So we work on a corporate engagement model where we work with large groups or hotels or precincts or restaurants who have the power to contact more than just the 1 or 2 people we will meet on the street.
And then integrating bees into the urban environment.
Exactly, and integrating bees into our culture. Australia is very distant from where their food comes from. We're still only just learning that food is grown in the ground, and without healthy ground we don't have healthy food, and then without healthy food we don't have healthy bees. So and bees are a beautiful connecting link between the whole process of planting a seed and then bearing a fruit. So we chose bees as the messaging tool, so to speak. So we were never born to be beekeepers. We never got into this to be producing 15,000 plus kilos of honey a year and all the rest of it. We got into it to confront people with truth and to confront people with fact. And because without bees we have no food, yet without food we have no way to fuel the human race. So with such a large impact that bees has on our food cycle, where does that start and where does that end? You know, and how can we close the gap between regular humans, regular civilians, and farmers.
Okay, see.
So the community has kind of built itself around this central messaging, central message of creating change within community through pollinating change, because that's what the bees do. The bees pollinate the plants, the flowers, and that is a beautiful symbolism and a beautiful wording to talk about how we as humans need to
spread and diffuse the message.
Exactly, and to communicate a clear and concise message. And with pollinating change, you can really do that, because it brings nature and it becomes human impact. And when you bind those things together, humans have the potential and the power to create movements beyond their size and their body and their mind. And that's where the sense of community really comes in, is working together as a unit to create change. And just like the bee hive.